Hello, my name is Michael Garrick, and this is PoppinCulture. My guest today is Jermaine Glass. He's a comedian and also an artist. Thank you so much for coming on to the show.
Hey, it's a pleasure you having me, man. Appreciate the opportunity to be here.
Oh man, thank you for coming on. The topic you chose was education and how it's influenced pop culture. But before we get into that, I would like to, whenever I have comedians on, I like to ask. A lot of people like to focus on bombing, but I'm more focused on success. So, when was the first time you killed, and how did it feel?
The first time I killed was actually the first time I decided to start doing stand up comedy, which was September 12th, 2019. My first set is the brewery over here in Columbia, South Carolina. First time I went up, because for years I always, just been a funny person, funny guy. And it was something I always wanted to pursue ever since I was little, because I grew up. I had to sneak and watch Def Comedy Jam back in the day. I was like 5, 6 years old, supposed to be in bed, but you know what I mean. I go sneak beside the couch, turn the TV down, and just seeing that, it made me want to be a stand-up comedian. So and then I just was always funny. So, but when I went up there that night, my tried that set and then had a good turnout.
Nice, nice, man. Has anything you've done before compared to that feeling?
Yes, because I before then I started pursuing acting. I done 4 stage plays, so that's what makes stand up comedy is like that feeling. Because when you're on that stage in theater, like you get that immediate response, and if you mess up or stumble on your line, you got to keep making it work, because the only person know that you messed up is you. The audience don't know, but you still have to perform and continue on. So doing that was very exciting and thrilling. And each time I did it, it was always something different, because something will always go wrong. But you, as an actor, you gotta still sell it. You gotta. That's why it's important to know your lines. And I mean, I rehearse so much that even if you do stumble on something, you can make it look like it's part of the actual play. Which I enjoy acting as well, which is much stage is different from film.
Yeah. Yeah.
Film, so it's oh man, that's like it's because stage you want to project more and all this, but film is like so much little small things make a big difference. But you got to do so many takes. This is just it's a lot of work. It's not as easy. People see the end product and they think, oh, it's simple, I can easily do it. No,
No,
yeah, it's not as simple as you think.
no, not at all. Wow, I did not know you were an actor. That's awesome, man. I last time I did like well, I did like murder mystery, but last time I did like theater work, I took drama in high school, and that was it. Before we get on topic, I would love to ask, when you were doing plays, how how mad would you get if somebody forgot their line?
I didn't get upset about it, because I literally learned every one line in the play. So many times when we have a rehearsal, if someone wasn't there, the director, I'd be like, hey, I can do their part.
Okay.
So that also, build your range and just memorization. So it's not only, hey, I can do my part, but I can show that I can also portray this other character that's someone else. So therefore, if they forget their line, I can bring it in to where, bam, they catch it like, okay, boom, and we keep on rolling. But if not, I can say their line in a way that make it seem like I'm supposed to say it, but it's really their line.
Nice, nice. Well, I know they loved you. Like,
I mean, it was fun. It's always a good time. That's why I wouldn't mind doing it more whenever the COVID situation eventually work out. But it's fun. I enjoy it.
so you can sing, or your plays you didn't have to sing.
I mean, I ain't gonna say I sound good, but I will sing. That was like one of my homies down in Sumter on Sunday and Wednesday. He hosts karaoke at this bar called Melted Whiskey.
Okay.
And they be laughing at me, because I go up there, I say, y'all know I can't sing, but I'm going to sing this motherfucker. But,
Nice.
it's fun. But because actually, younger growing up, I grew up in the choir, and then got a record with Mississippi's Children's Choir.
Nice.
I think we recorded it back in 1998 or whatnot. It was like 2 records with them. So it just grew up always singing, performing, different stuff like that. So looking back, like stuff like getting to stand up comedy, it started coming natural as I performed in front of crowds and different venues and different stuff. So I look at it like it's a building block. It slowly put everything together in pieces.
Nice, nice, man. That's awesome, man. I never knew that about you. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. My karaoke song is Tequila.
Tequila.
Yeah, you only gotta say tequila like 4 times and that's it. But people love it. Like it's a cheat, but people love it.
Tequila.
Alright. So you chose the topic of education. Any special reason why?
Education, because as I've grown older and I reflect back on my life, I realize how important education is in many different aspects. And when people think education, they think just foreign term or being able to recite something or memorize something out of a book. But you look at like the soul. What I tell people, I was like, hey, you got people that are book smart, but they don't have common sense. They're not street smart. You got people street smart, but they ain't book smart, and they ain't got common sense. It's rare that you find someone who has all three: book education, street sense, and also common sense. Because I'm gonna tell you, there was one time this lady, long time ago.
Long time ago.
long time ago. You know what I mean? I was like 21, and she was in her 40s, little cougar. And that's back in the Muskrugger days. I ain't had nothing about $20 in my name. And we decided we're gonna go on a little date, go bowling or whatnot.
What?
I told
21 knocking down 40. I ain't mad at
hey,
you.
listen, you know what I'm saying? She take care of me now. She put some little money in my pocket. I don't mind. Them struggle days, you gotta do what you gotta do.
You got them church coins.
Yeah. And she was like the head RN in her hospital
Oh,
department.
you getting RDON money? Or
Hey, listen, she making that 6-figure money, and I ain't had number $20 to my name.
good for you, man. When I was 21, they were cougars, but they were like, not the ones you wanted. But go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, hey, listen, she was funding my habit and my fun, which was always fun to me. Also, listen, if any cougar out there still wanna holler at your boy, but anyway,
Would they be considered cougars?
yeah, I mean, I realize I'm getting closer to what would be considered the cougar age, so now I think I'm gonna have to move up to the vintage vagina.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. That's the right title. I didn't want you to be over here lying to yourself, and I'm just sitting there like, yeah, man, them cougars.
Like I went to school with y'all.
Yeah. Just be over there, Amy. Oh shoot.
Right, yeah, man. But that's just one of those things. Looking back, it's so important because I always go back to the first time I questioned the school system. Was in first grade, right? I'm pretty sure you had that book where they had I think a social study book. It was this white man with this old Egyptian pharaoh thing on the head. And I'm like 6. I'm looking. I'm like, this don't seem right to me. And then I remember a teacher, she was talking about Stonehenge and how they set all that up. And I'm listening to it, but I'm like, this don't make sense to my little 6-year-old brain who don't know nothing, but I know when something don't add up, right? So I raised my hand. She called on me. I said, how did they lift the boulders? If we eat thousands of pounds, what technology did they have to lift the boulders? And she's like, oh, the levee system. I'm like, the levee system? She's like, yeah, they put another log and got up under. I said, but who lifted it up for them to get the log under? You still got to initially get it out the ground. You don't have nothing. So even if the levee system, you was to get it propped up enough, yep, what rope gonna pull that joker up? It didn't make sense to me. And after I went on my little 10-minute rant, she completely ignored me, went on. I was like, so you ain't gonna answer my question?
Yeah, teachers hated you.
Oh yeah, oh man, my whole school career. They looked at me as problematic because I questioned things. And even now as an adult, when I converse with people and just certain different stuff, when I have them to think or question, I like to say think, but question whatever their beliefs or thoughts or whatever. I'm not trying to change your mind, but I want to understand why you believe what you believe. Because, like many stuff, we know what we've been taught.
Exactly. And like I said, when you catch somebody young, you can tell them anything. My mom, for example, it was history, and it was Tim. I remember the book was like Tim McGraw, Tom McGraw, whatever that company, whoever owns the company. But in the book, they said that they kept saying servants, but they wouldn't say slaves. And my mom took that to heart. So my mom like literally came up to school and was like, "Look," and my history teacher was a white guy, really nice fella though. Like he just truly nice fella. He was just teaching us what was in the book. I think he was from Pennsylvania, and she was like, "Look, I understand you doing your job, but like, are you really? You see that it says servants? You know we were slaves." And I remember because the teacher after that he started saying slaves.
All right, and even now, they're making that big push to try to change the terminology from slave to indentured servants and all that crap. And matter of fact, Tennessee, what was it, last week or the other week, just passed a bill saying that they will not fund schools who teach about white supremacy.
Wow.
Yep. Just passed the bill.
That is sad.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah, they just passed the bill. So that's why education is so important, because if you control the mind of how people think and see stuff with misinformation, they're just like now. You think about the Trump administration. They averaged a week, I forgot, 1,600 something lies and misinformation.
Yeah.
And people like, you get the, Trump supporters, whoever, they literally, and my thing is, they never forget 9/11. No, never forget June 6, 2021, where they literally stormed the U.S. Capitol. Not only did that, with plots of killing Congress people, elected officials, and they killed 2-3 cops with the fire extinguisher and the American flag.
Yeah, and then then the cops helped them leave,
taking selfies with them.
Yes. And the sad part is you'll get protesters, they'll wrangle them up and they'll arrest 60 in one night.
Yeah.
And it's like, if you can arrest 60 protesters, but you can't arrest like toothless, old, decrepit, like it was some old people out there, man.
Yeah, a bunch of them. And then
you saw the handicapped people.
Yeah.
You saw the guy with looked like a nugget, a chicken nugget.
Yeah.
I was like, what bus did he come in on? Like,
probably had his own little section and everything.
Yeah, it was a bunch of them though. I was just like, who are these cripples? Like,
yeah, but you look at it from that instance, right? The news for the longest refused to call them terrorists. That was a terror attack. They were terrorists. That was the second since the early 2000, with 9/11. That's the second worst terrorist attack that happened in modern times.
Yeah.
But it's not treated the same.
Oh, yeah. You know why?
Yeah, of course. Listen. And then you literally have one of the other congressmen, what was it? I forgot how far later on down the road. I can't remember his name. He was like, oh, he wasn't fearful of his life, but if it was been black people or Black Lives Matter people, he would have been afraid. Think about what that says.
Yeah, they know what they're saying, man. Like,
so that's why education is so important. And I always think back to what my college professor told me back in 2005 or 2006, one or either or. I went to the community college in Mississippi. It was a KKK town, so things was amazing. Predominantly black people go there too. It's
like a sundown town.
I mean, it used to be back in the day, but
Okay.
they letting us do stuff past the sun now.
Okay, no, I'm saying some towns still have the whistle.
Yeah. It's a couple places. Matter of fact, in Mississippi, it's a town. Was it 2016, 17? They still segregated.
Yeah.
I think they went back to it. Matter of fact, it's up there in, around Clarksdale. For the people who are familiar with Mississippi, they know what I'm talking about.
Okay.
But you go back and you look at stuff like that, man. It just education, and it's so prominent in so many different ways. It's how we analyze and view it, and you look at how the government is pushing to have stuff viewed and taught a certain way.
Exactly. Going to the pop culture side of it, movies. Let's start there. Do you have a favorite like movie that's set like in high school? For me, it's Superbad.
Oh, that movie was
And
hilarious.
like Nick and Nora Infinite Playlist and a few other movies. And you know,
So movies like I'm a movie fanatic. Grew up, I was watching
good
so
to
many
hear.
movies. So, but back in high school, you look at movie that really just stood out, test of time. You got Harlem Nights.
No, it's about movies that were set like based off like schools.
Oh, Education.
But yeah, All Nights is a great movie.
Oh yeah, so movie based off Education. All right.
Or set in like a school environment.
Let's go with. I always think about the movie The Breakfast Club.
Oh yeah, that's definitely number one, I would say. And then, you know, I guess for us maybe higher learning.
Oh man, oh yeah, that one. Hey, 'cause that one, that highlighted so much. With that, you know what? Even though that movie came out back in the '90s or what, or it was late '80s.
Didn't no, it was the '90s because I know Ice Cube doesn't have a Jerry curl in it.
Right, right. So even with that movie, with that time period that movie came out, that's still very relevant to stuff happening today.
Oh yeah,
Just like you can, someone can go watch that movie and they wouldn't know. Well, besides
no cell phones, yeah.
yeah, but you can easily say, hey, this is something reflecting that happened yesterday or today.
Yeah. Um, not truly all. Well, yeah, it's said in school, so yeah, you can say it. Remember the Titans. I think that's definitely hit with pop culture.
Oh, big time, man, big
If you
time.
grew up with ABC Family, you know Breakfast Club and Remember the Titans.
Oh yeah, remember Titans, and even with that movie, speaks so much volume to stuff that's going on in society, and then you look at it from how just this cultural influence that the movie spoke on, and so we'll go back to when Colin Kaepernick was protesting police brutality and all that stuff,
Yep.
and giving people a voice, a voice to the voiceless. And when sports, and you got students even in high school, kneel or whatever, like it was some high school, I forgot where it was, but like parents went out and was attacking the players. I'm like, what? You look at that, you think about that, and then like we remember the Titans, how that was happening, how the Denzel and different players like, hey, if you with us or whatever, we're not gonna accept that here, and then it just, but it goes back to education,
Yeah.
right? The high influence, because I was talking to my cousin about this, right? Sometimes they like to use term like, hey, I didn't grow up around people who look like you, look different from me, or I wasn't used to this certain stuff growing up. But I said, but here's my thing. I've been many places I've never been, around people I've never been around. Not once did I ever feel the need to do any harm to them.
Yeah, yeah, that's 100% true. For me, and guys, I promise we'll get more to education, but for me, it's more of the black people that, well, this has never happened to me, or like I'm above this. Like I have a few friends who are dentists, and that friends are way more successful than me. And one, he's a I'm gonna say what he said. He makes a lot of money, but he said, Mike, I don't get the problem. This has never happened to me. I know, I don't do anything. And then, sadly enough, man, I think he's about to start suing. Like maybe 6 months. I think he is. So 6 months ago, man, he got beat up.
Oh wow!
For I guess he didn't have. He guess he had his brights on for too long. But he said he was on a dark. He didn't realize he had the brights on, but they pulled him over, and yeah, he I don't I haven't seen any video or anything, but
Right.
he is he was messed up.
Oh wow! So even with that notion, when people say this never happened to me, just because it didn't happen to you doesn't mean you can't empathize with this other person. Because I've never been raped. Hold on. According to the Army, take that back. I lied. According to the military, well, it's a little bit off topic, but I'm gonna get back on topic. I see. According to the military, you can't consent to sex under influence of alcohol. All right, so
I don't know, man. The military is weird. Like, military, you can lose your job for like cheating on your wife, can't you?
Oh, you lose more than your job. It is this and is you adultery. They do not play that. That's a no fly. That's a quick way to get kicked out, to get a dishonorable discharge, and then after that, trying to get a civilian job with a dishonorable discharge. It's don't expect no good paying job.
Oh, it's kind of like going to prison.
Well, I mean, somewhat, not really.
Okay,
But
so you can still get a job easily. I got you.
I ain't gonna say easy, but not no good one.
Not the one you want. I got you.
Yeah,
I got
not
you.
no good high paying one. It's a lot of stuff, but as far as like with that, it's crazy, a whole nother thing. But however, just my thing, how I look at it, right? How with pop culture, how education, just being able, like, hey, just because I didn't necessarily experience something, and I can see someone else is suffering from this, I can say, hey, I personally didn't experience this, but I have enough education and actual been taught that, hey, I empathize with you because I don't want to see you suffer from whatever you may be going through, even though I didn't personally experience. I can empathize with you, not to be like, oh, well, I didn't experience it, so it's not that bad.
Exactly. You're a little bit older than me. I'm 29. You're
34.
34. Okay, you're not much older than me. I hope not much older than me at all. But I hope this doesn't make it sound like make me try to make it sound like I'm saying you're old, but you're not. A different world. Was that one of the reasons why you helped you go to college, or
Different world. A big, not even just different world. Even though that was a fabulous show, great show. What made me influence me the most, as far as want to go to college and school, was Family Matters.
nice?
Steve Urkel, like because when I was younger, I had many different influences. I said I kept my head cut bald for two different people, Michael Jordan and Tupac. All right, so I'm out here trying to be a basketball star, and I'm on my thug life stuff. But then I also look on TV and I watch Family Matters, which I'm like, hey, Steve's smart, and he's always, trying to get Laura. He's constantly always do the sweetest thing, which also taught me, hey, listen, the good guy always come in last, because when he turned into Stefan, literally, oh my God. Chicks like, oh my God, Stefan's so fine. I said, he the same person. but that showed me how you carry yourself.
Exactly.
Speaks how people perceive you and take you. Literally, he the same person. He just go put on some glasses, talk a little nerdy, pants. Chicks like, turned off. But he came in there swagged up, all cool, confident, and everything. And chicks like, oh my God, I just gotta have him. You know what I mean? So that, just seeing that, just like really push education and different ways to carry yourself. And then there was a TV show about so much resiliency.
Yep.
And just how, you can see a positive image of a black family, a guy who's smart, super intelligent, always trying to get the prettiest girl, and then his girlfriend was actually beautiful. But another thing that greatly influenced me was BET. They used to have the Black College Tour.
Yep.
Now they just showing movies and movies.
Yeah, just a bunch of Medea and Baby Boy.
Yeah, you know what I mean? But I used, because that back in the day, 106 in Park, the basement, Miss Celia, the little cyber chick, always just...
Yes.
But the Black College Tour, they go around, boom, boom, because it's not like today where we have the internet and you can just type, boom, 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 like.
No, 106 in Park was like a big thing.
Oh yeah.
Like the freestyle battles, like for people that don't remember or don't never saw it, go YouTube the freestyle battles. You remember Blind Fury?
Blind Fury, yes.
Yeah, he's from here.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
I believe Moncks Corner.
Wow. Yeah, because see, and then that just go to show how, even with education, how it influenced pop culture, even with that, because that's where a lot of artists, you try to get seen by these big record labels. You had to know somebody, you had to be in the right place, right time, and 106 in Park helped put a lot of people in a position to get seen, but you had to go up there and like unlike today. I hate to say I'm not talking down on any artist, but however, it's easier now to get put on. Versus back in the day, you had to actually prove yourself. You have to actually be intelligent. You know, be lyrical, boom, boom, boom. Know how to work things, work the crowd. You know, instead of just being an artist, not an artist, but it's just like a rapper. Oh, I'm a rapper. No, you had to be an MC. You got to, you know, how to work the crowd. Not only, you know, go against your opponent and everything, but you got to be intelligent enough to manipulate them and, you know, get the crowd into it. What you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. Like you, but you know, I mean, I'm pretty sure those artists are happy it's not like that anymore. I'm sure.
Oh, definitely. Like now, get you a catchy beat, and that's it. A nice little hook.
Yeah.
The verse, they don't really care about what you're saying now.
When it comes to education and music, the first song that comes to my mind is "I'm Just a Bill,"
You just a bill.
and I'm sitting at Capitol Hill.
I'm just a bill. I'm sitting on Capitol Hill. I ain't hear that one.
It's the electric company, I think.
Right.
It's a animated. It was like a cartoon, I believe, and it was like a bill, like a piece of paper or something he was singing.
I'm just a bill sitting on the electric hill. Nah, I ain't never heard that one.
I was sitting on Capitol Hill. I think
Capitol Hill.
I think it was. I think it was about an electric company. I'm not sure. I think Dave Chappelle talked about it too with somebody.
I'm just a bill sitting on Capitol Hill. Nah, I ain't gonna have to go look that one up.
Okay, cool. But when it comes to education, what like music comes to your mind?
Oh, music. Because you look at the way music influence things, influence people, influence our emotions, the way we think, and as far as like to be able to first off to make the beats, all that stuff, you got to know how to put that together to certain tones and stuff, tap into certain emotions, and then when you put in certain words together, the rhythm, the pattern, you know, the cadence of the song, you know, it influenced. What's his name? Designer. You remember the song Panda?
Okay, yeah.
Panda. He came on the Breakfast Club. He said something that was so smart I never thought about. He said, words that usually ends in vowels register with people more.
He said that?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, what? That's why he's like, the think about y'all, oh. And I was like, wait a minute. Then I went back and listened to it. I said, holy crap. I was like, I don't know what he's talking about, but the song is catchy. And I couldn't figure it out until he said, I said, oh my God, that is so smart. Like, wow. But it just, the knowledge to know that, to articulate it like that and put into your music. And that's why Panda, I think it went diamond. It's diamond now.
Designer was one of those rappers. Like, do you follow XXL Freshman of the Year?
No.
I follow it, and like I always be like, it's always like at least two rappers that are like, hell no, they have a future. Maybe they can make it long term. And then there's 8 others where I'm like, they better save all their money. Like
Right.
they gonna have a great summer, and that's
Right.
pretty much it. Like I can imagine a 6-month span where they can make it, but like, you know. And Designer definitely, yeah, I guess that happened for him. Good for him, though.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you can live the rest of your life just off that one song.
Yeah, exactly.
But as far as you look at the education portion in the music, even that's why certain artists can only rap or sing or talk about certain stuff in their music, right? Because you look at it like, oh, rappers, you know, they can rap about killing, destroying, selling dope to the whole entire world. They not kill some whales. They better not kill no whales in this song. You're going to have the PETA people going hard at them. But
Yeah, they'll start rapping against them.
yeah, but, you know, they can't say anything about causing harm to a politician.
Oh, no, some rappers have. There was a whole song called Fuck Donald Trump.
Yeah, and Secret Service went and saw him.
For real?
Yeah, him, YG, the Secret Service came and saw him, and the late great Nipsey Hussle when he was alive. Secret Service like, hey, do you actually intend on causing any harm? Because music is
hilarious.
Nah, for real, that's serious. Even Rick Ross, he said something about who was it, Mitt Romney or somebody? Oh no, that was Kendrick Lamar. But Rick Ross said something about a politician too. Secret Service came and saw them. Do you actually intend on causing harm to this person? Because they fluff it up. So, oh, it's just entertainment. No, it's programming. You hear something over and over, you get programmed.
Yeah, The Rick Ross thing, man, that was hilarious. I forgot the guy that he was doing like I believe a TED talk, but he emphasized. You remember Rick Ross said I put something in a drink. She didn't even know it,
Yeah.
and he was like, "Yes, I agree that it's negative," but he also talked about killing and shooting and selling drugs to his community.
No problem with
And
that.
the reason why he was a white guy, the reason why we got upset, or people that looked like him got upset, was, oh, that can happen to my daughter. That could happen to my white daughter. He could put some in my drink. So now it's a problem. Now Adidas has to drop him. Now we have to, because this is something that can happen to us. It's fine when he messes over his own community.
Mhm.
Let's put that out there. Let's yeah, that's what we want them to like. But once it comes to our side, this is now a problem.
No fly zone.
Yes. So is there anything else you'd like to say about education?
Oh, well, I mean, it's a lot of stuff, man. I can go on and on about education because my thing what I advocate to people now, because question what you've learned, what you've been programmed, because a lot of stuff, just because you was raised a certain way or taught a certain thing coming up, doesn't mean that was right. And this,
Exactly.
and then like I said, I grew up in the church. Look, my grandma and them. I don't know how she always found it back in the day. This I'm telling you, she had social media before social media. We was at church 5-6 days a week. 5-6 days a week. All right, I'll come over here, baby. I'm saying, girl, another revival. But it's okay, cause listen, though, I met a lot of my boo thing. Them pastor put me on. Thank you, preacher. You want me to hold her hand? Okay. Tell her I love her. I love you, girl. After that, I'm like, hey, write your number on the little, tell the little fan, I'll put your number on there. Tell the preacher used to put me on back in the day. But
using the Lord for some ass.
hey, I'm just out here doing the Lord's work.
Won't he do it?
So, but question everything. I think people, I get told I come off as problematic because I question too much stuff. And I say I think that's problematic because you don't question enough stuff. And just a lot of stuff, unlearn a lot of stuff that you've been taught because it's not right. And my grandma, we always have talk, and she's like, baby, you weren't raised that way. I said, well, grandma, just because I was raised a certain way, that don't mean it was right, because some people was raised to hate black people. Now, is that right? And she be like, you want some peas? I'll be like, yeah.
Exactly. Well, thank you so much for coming on to the podcast, man. Is there anything you'd like to say to your fans? And please tell them where they can follow you.
Hey, once again, I appreciate Michael for having me on. If y'all want to follow me, look me up. Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. Look me up at Jermaine Glass. Our Team Enlightenment is one word. And also make sure y'all go subscribe, share some videos, and make sure y'all come up to some of the shows and just support local artists, local comedians, and people just doing different stuff, man. And y'all stay blessed.
Guys, like I said, please follow Jermaine and definitely go check him out. All right, guys, you have an amazing day, and thank you so much for listening.